everybody. It's Mark Miller here. Roy, say hello to our friends.
Hello, friends. Hope you are all having an awesome day, and we aim to continue the awesome here.
Yeah, we hope so. We'll never, you say we aim. I don't even feel like I'm ready to start the show with any particular direction. I had like an idea or two,
That's
and
like 3 seconds in, and apparently the chat room has a certain member suggesting that we behave.
okay, yeah, there we go. That's my wife, sex positive out there. Behave, she says. Yeah. So I had a talking to based on the explosions yesterday. Apparently, I thought my wife was totally on board with this. She is not as warm as I thought she was to the idea of explosives in the bedroom. So, we're still negotiating. I also ordered some glow plugs because I'm not happy with that 7-second delay. It takes 7 seconds to heat up the coil. Which reminds me, there's I think near the end, if you can remind me after we give away a copy of CodeRushed at the end of the show, Roy, remind me about the highlight clip from yesterday. I actually made a highlight clip as well that I find incredibly funny. So I'll put that out in the chat room near the end of the show. With that said, I'll tell you what I'm thinking about here. What's going on here? Not responding. That's not good. I'm like totally on cutting edge of in terms of versionings here. I just installed the latest. I don't have a sense of why that's not responding. So I think I'm going to shut that down. I just installed the latest Visual Studio preview on here, and I similarly just installed the latest CodeRushed as well.
The latest preview, which is going to be live in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Sex Positive says I'm in big trouble, and she's not negotiating. But don't worry, I'm very charming. If there's one thing I'm known for in my 40 plus years of development, it's Mark Miller's a charming guy, and when he leaves the room, everybody is charmed. I can tell that because they're all like, "Oh my God," like that after I leave the room. Right? They're like,
"Yeah,
thank God he's gone," I think is what they say, which I think means that there was so much charm. All right. Discussion is ended. Drop the mic, she says. Please be charming. Wilbert says, you can integrate the meteor catch so that it turns on the relay if a meteor is projected to hit within 7 seconds. Will, I considered that, and I'm like, yeah, there's just no way.
I'm just wondering how much time the average meteor spends on the screen before it then explodes.
It's rarely
a little less than that.
Yeah, it's rarely over 7. So predicting that just doesn't make sense. We could cut some time off. It's basically the meteor throw time. We could pre-calculate it on the throw to see where it's going to go. But we'd also have to calculate to make sure it doesn't hit anybody else. Nobody else catches it. We could do all that, but it's only going to save us the throw time. And we've still got 7 seconds that it takes to heat up that nichrome wire before the explosion goes off. Anybody who is not sure what we're talking about, that's episode 96 of the show where we, for the first time...
missed a good one if you missed that.
Yeah, that was a pretty good show. I had a great time, and we were lighting off explosives remotely through the video game. May have been the first time in history, it just now occurs to me, Rory, that a video game where if you launched an explosive in the video game actually lit off an actual explosive somewhere else in the world. So Sex Positive is still very focused on the charming possibility. I'm going to get a book on that, my dear. And I am going to be so charming, you are going to be like, okay.
Prince of Charming.
It's too much charming. So, at first I was like, well, I got to get this thing to work here, this thing that you're seeing on screen, right? I got to get it to work. There's a lot of data. There's a lot of, there's user controls. There's embedded stuff. It's really complex. But boy, is this the least amount of fun we could have, pretty much, is what I was thinking. So what I thought I wanted to do instead, I changed my mind just at the last second. By the way, what is this going on? Assembly DND core was not found. That's bizarre because it's totally right there. I can see it. Interesting. Okay. So at the last minute, I thought to myself, you know what I really want to do instead today that's more fun is I want to go to our effect builder here, and we've got a sound kind of piece. We never really got the sound working, the sound effect piece. And I thought, let's do that. Right now, those options are collapsed, but if I turn those to visible, there you can see we've got a sound file. We've got this button right here. I'm going to change that back to collapsed. That button is right here. I think I added the code to select files, and I'm even setting it to the right folder that I want to put that in. And so what I want to do is I want to get like, I want to do kind of the next level of this, which is I want to set sound across. And then
you're actually going to send the sound across the wire.
No, I don't mean that actually. I guess what I mean, but I want it to essentially seem like that. What I'm going to send across the wire is the file name. And then on the TypeScript side of things, we're going to open that up and play it. So that when like the blood splurts, you know, we'll hear that, or when the smoke poofs, we'll hear that.
Sure.
Right? And so that's kind of what I want to do is I want to like kind of bind a sound effect, but also be able to set up delays. So I want to actually be able to overlay different effects on top of each other, visual effects, so that I can maybe combine an animated smoke with a particle system and a sound effect, for example. Or maybe, you know, maybe we talked about for the potion, when you drink the potion, when we want to have the gulp, gulp, gulp sound effect, followed by the poof and a sound effect for the poof as well. So I want to set those up, and I want to create an editor that basically allows me to offset the times on when these will start. And then I want to be able to send all that over so that we can kind of send a package of effects. But we still haven't gotten the sound effects working yet. So I thought, okay, let's see if we can get the sound effects working.
Let me ask a quick question. We've got this is all to be set up for a stream. The stream will be being broadcast via you. You're going to be the sort of central location. Is that right?
Right. I'm gonna be the broadcaster on a different channel, not CodeRushed, but a different channel that I've created. Yeah.
That's fine. So you'll then be taking video streams and audio streams from the other participants and combining them over OBS out via that stream.
Right, for a live Dungeons and Dragons comedy game.
That's it.
Yeah.
Now, you're not going to be the dungeon master,
nope.
are you? So one of the other participants is going to take that role. So
right.
They are going to have the sort of control panel at their location. So how is it that they are going to... I should ask, I guess. So far, it seems like the effects builder, all of these construction facilities that may not be used during the game, are part of the same application as that which is going to help Dungeon Master shift between pages and scrolls and things.
Right.
So how are they going to have access to the same list of sounds that is going to be resident within the web app that sits with you?
Well, I thought of a kind of a cheap solution for that, and that's basically just a shared folder.
Okay.
Like Dropbox.
Oh, I see Dropbox there, yeah, in front of you. Sorry, I completely missed that. That's a good solution. That's nice, simple.
Yeah, and then a config file that allows them to specify what that folder is, or maybe an option, something like that they can set. So once they set their assets folder, or their sound effects folder, whatever, and if it's shared, then everything seems to work out from that standpoint, including a shared folder location for the actual data that we should store, that we work on. So that means that I could work on the game, I could work on the pieces, creating, for example, weapons or equipment, and that would then be available to the Dungeon Master. So something along those lines.
Cool.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
That's a good solution. That works.
So, so I wanted to just kind of, I think I want to work with the thing that I think is more fun, and I want to kind of hide the less fun work is what I want to do, because I think
it's our last show of the week, so it's kind of one of those wind down things. So the fun things are kind of fun.
Rory can find a reason.
Redundant statement, I know.
Rory can find a reason to make anything justified. He can justify anything. And I love that about you, Rory. It is awesome.
Only that was true. Think what I could get away with.
All right, so I want to see, now one thing I noticed is when I started up, we didn't have the overlays, and I was like, what's going on with that? Will Bennett said, I thought you had a server and the files would be on the server. Yeah, we can do that too, but guess who's got to learn about how to do that? That's this guy, and this guy knows pretty much nothing about that. So it's going to be another, set of weeks watching me try to figure stuff out, and whatever. We might do that, but if I do it, I want to do it with a guest, somebody who knows how to do it, who can help us guide us through it, and we can learn through that guest, because I'm not the guy to teach anybody how to do that. So let's see. I wanted to go set startup projects here because I had switched to this momentarily. I really wish Visual Studio. All right. So
Yeah.
have I expressed my wish here? What I want?
Maybe.
D&D core, D&D test, D&D UI, announcer bot, overlay manager. We don't.
Possibly the way around this is to not switch to the single startup project and instead use that right-click debug start instance.
Yeah, you're right. Good idea.
But it's still a little bit awkward.
Debug start new instance. I was wondering if we have a command for that, but I'm not sure if it would know that I'm in this project necessarily. Okay.
True.
All right. So I'm going to try running. Let's see if we can get the overlay back over here. Also, I just updated to a new version of OBS as well. So we've got like everything.
Always fun when new versions of things are available. I was offered a new version of Skype this morning. I thought, I'm not touching that.
I just actually installed a new version of Skype this morning as well. And my machine rebooted recently because apparently a Windows update or something like that.
You're doing all the experiments at once.
Yeah, normally I feel like I have pretty good luck, but today when I noticed no overlay, I was like a little concerned. Okay, so what's happening? We're building right now. You can see the progress bar right over there to my left.
Yep.
And that's going. Let's see what happens. Yeah, while that builds, let's start a PowerPoint.
It's the most awesome progress bar in existence. 30% done.
And play with some UI here for what I'm kind of thinking about here. It looks like things are starting to start up over here. But I think the UI I kind of like the most is kind of like something like this, right? Where I'm able to essentially drag a bar to say when something starts, right? So this will be my sound effect.
Oh, yeah.
And then with a nice big fat play button up here, somewhere, right? Mm-hmm. So I can hit play. I can select my different effects that I've created in my effect builder, right? And then just hit play, and we watch a little timeline go across as well, right? It's a little maybe overkill, right, for what I want to do. I could also solve the same.
It's very intuitive, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is way more intuitive. I could also do something like this if I wanted to go less intuitive, where we do this, and this is just an edit box right here, right, that specifies how many milliseconds or something is off. 45 milliseconds, something like that. And it looks like I need to change that font color like that. So we can do something like this as well. Whoops, I didn't want to do that. And it's so funny when we start up the app, it switches to the view that we do when we do the Dungeons and Dragons show. And it puts the reason this is over here is because this camera is the same camera that's on Karen when she's doing the Dungeons and Dragons show with us. And so that's Karen. When I look up there at this view on the stream, I'm like, oh yeah, that's Karen right there. But that's Karen. At least it will be when we do it. I just repurposed the camera for when we were doing this show. Kind of fun and interesting. So let's switch back over here. Oh, now I'm getting the scroll bars. Now I'm getting the overlay loading. I'm not sure what was wrong, but it felt like it seemed as if it needed a full-on rebuild and run to make this work. Yeah. So let's go over to the effects and let's see what we have to do to make this work. Let's say we want to do a sound effect. Whoops, I don't want to. I want to create a new one here is what I want to do. Add, and then we're going to call this blood squirt sound SFX like that. SFX for sound effect. Okay, and then we're going to come in here and say it's a sound effect like this. Click this button right here. Did I click it? Yeah, I did. And I just downloaded this. So blood squirting weapon impact.mp3. And then I'm going to hit test effect, and nothing is happening. However, something might actually be happening on the other side. I think, oh, that's not good. Okay. I think on the other side of things over here, let's go look at connection.ts. And in here is where we are, trigger effect is where we're hoping to get something. Really?
Oh.
I did this yesterday. Why am I doing this again? Is it because I installed a new version of Visual Studio, maybe? All right, we're going to shut it
Possible.
down. All right, I just killed every instance of Chrome. And we can actually kind of go into, hold on a second here. Let me move this out of the way for a second. Actually, all right, let's maybe, what do we got? It's loaded. Let's come over here, go to effects. And it looks like it didn't save that because we just shut it down, so I'll have to create it again. There's the blood squirt. There's the sound effect. Click that button, grab it. Hit test effect. Okay, good. Good. So let's go look through here. What are we going to do? Guess who's hit step in and didn't need to do that. I'm going to come back out of that. What is going on? I'm hitting shift 11 to get out. I'm like, what is going on? Game loop. I feel like I'm just going to hit run and do it one more time. That was like really bizarre and weird to me. Now I'm hitting test effect. Do I not have the breakpoint anymore? I guess I don't have the breakpoint. Okay. Test effect. Okay.
There we go.
So F10, this time I'm hitting. Whoa. What?
So apparently not the game you think it is.
Is that really it? Well, it does say active front game is undefined.
We've had that once before. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, but is it because I'm not doing... I think I have the wrong one. I think we're okay. Let's change this to the... I think we call it the dragon overlay. Dragon front overlay. That's what I think it's called.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, you think it sounds good? Let's see if it finds it. That looks like it's finding it.
It's trying.
Okay. Which means I think I can hit a breakpoint. Oh, it's done loading. I was just saying, even though it's not loading, I think I might be able to hit it and we might be able to get it. No? That's like... That one worked. Let's come back over here. So our breakpoint's not hitting. I don't understand or get that. Why isn't the breakpoint hitting when I click on this? Click here. Yeah, that breakpoint is definitely not hitting. If I clear it and set it again, would that be like a crazy thing to do? Set a breakpoint up here too. Test effect. Okay. Oh, we get in here. Now, this is like insane to me.
Huh? There's some very strange things going on here.
Oh, I get it. Because this binding already happened. We're not going to hit there. I was like, how did we get here without getting here? But okay, so let's try again. F10, now we got it. Good, we're inside.
Okay, good.
Trigger effect, parse the data. The DTO is here. And fireball. Okay, fine. We're going to set a breakpoint here and run till we get to the next one. Because we're on fireball. Okay, come back over here, test effect. Go down.
And we're still in. Good, okay.
And now we've got good. Sound file name is oddly set to TBX sound file name.
We'll be shipping the wrong data across the wire.
Yeah, that's the actual name of the control. that this thing is in. So kind of super interesting and fun. So that means we're going to likely get down to here with the wrong name. Oh, we didn't get to there. The effect kind didn't seem like it was right. Let's try right here and just see what's going on there in addition to that. So the effect kind is 0, sound effect is 2. So it sounds like we've got the wrong effect kind coming across as well. So we need to fix that. Let's run. All right, let's come over.
Copy paste errors, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Please don't say that. I don't like to think that I make those kinds of mistakes, Rory. And now I need you to follow that up with the explanation as to why a copy and paste is beautiful. Yeah.
Copy and paste is beautiful when used under the right circumstances.
Yes, but even the most infallible among us can sometimes be fallible, right, Rory? It's a sign of humanity.
Absolutely.
All right. So what are we doing here?
The ability to admit we're like that is even better.
Yeah, so it's over in my UI section here, my effect builder, XAML. Let's actually just jump over to this piece right here. TBX sound file name. Let's see where that's going through here. Return new sound effect. So that could be the problem right there. That's part of my problem.
Yep.
Okay, boom. And there we go. Good. Instead of sending the name over, I want to send over the text, I think, which is going to be, that looks good. Okay, that's what I want to send. So send that. Boom. Hit run. And now we're over here. Oh, we still didn't fix the effect kind over here. So we need to do that or find out what's going on there. So let's go get back over and set a breakpoint back where we were. Get sound effect.
Right. Yeah. Nothing about the sound effect that inherently apparently declares it is a sound effect.
Yeah.
It really is pretty basic in there.
Yeah. But I think doesn't effect have the effect kind? That's what we're missing over in our new is where is what we're missing here. I think I almost want to consolidate this a little bit. I'm not sure if I can modify this by adding a .base call, or colon base call here while I'm editing and continuing. So I'll probably make the change in both places is what I'll do. All right, one more time. Test effect. Here we go. We're sending that across. I can clear this breakpoint now. And now we're here. We're going to say effect kind equals effect kind dot sound effect, like that. And I'm going to do the same thing up here as well for now. I kind of want to consolidate this code into one function, but for now we'll do that. We'll just run it. Okay, there we go, run. And I can clear that breakpoint as well. And now connection over here, trigger effect. Wait, why didn't we get here now?
Yeah, we did not stop, did we?
What's going on with that? I feel like doesn't make sense. Why are we not stopping at our breakpoints here?
Spontaneously disconnected again.
That's what it feels like. It kind of feels like there's a disconnect here. And I'm trying to remember, what did I think I just turned it off and turned it back on, and then all of a sudden we got there again. What happens if I come over and refresh? I think I'm going to have to refresh, Rory. I think it's...
Okay, yeah, that could work.
I sense that it's thinking, because edit and continue occurred on one side, and because the browser hasn't been refreshed.
There's a disconnect between the code and the map that then takes you to the JavaScript.
That's my idea. If we actually stop here now
reasonable idea.
At the break point, then that's going to be, let's see what happens. Nope, still nothing is happening when I'm clicking this. So that's not working. That works, though. That's being sent out. I think...
just Studio.
Yeah, I think we're not stopping at the breakpoint. Let's do this. Let's send a console log out here, right like this, console log like that. And let's refresh. We're going to need to refresh the browser to see that console log message.
Yep.
I'll make this a little bigger, and we'll come in and we'll choose inspect. Bring up the console. Since some are more human than others. It says X positive. Your power supply and your wife have the same name. They do, Will. They do. Sex Positive says, I am his power supply. He's a very sophisticated robot I created. Then why do I mess up all the time?
I'm very bad at creating.
Anytime I mess up, it's your fault. Hey, could you fill this for me? Would you be my... Hey, watch your language. This is a family show.
Could you not blow up things on a family show?
I'm not blowing things up on a family show. Okay, here we are. We got a console up. This is refreshed. Let's hit that. This not trigger sound effect. So it's getting there.
Oh, except effect kind is... No, it is 2, and it's supposed to be 2.
Yeah,
That's right.
we're good and
It was
happy
0 before.
with that. Now what's happening is trigger sound effect. Is it just not doing anything? Yeah, we're just doing a console log. Okay. So
Fair
now we've got to load up that file, is what we got to do. So we're going to add some code here. We cannot break, which means we need to have, oh wait, we've got the DTO though. We need to know the name of the, it's sound file name. That's what I wasn't sure about. So I was, so I'm going to take sound file name and I'm going to copy that to the clipboard. Then I'm going to come in here. So since we can't do a break on this, we're going to have to go figure out how to play it. And I've totally forgotten how to play.
Let's see what we can find.
I got it. I got code in here. It's going to be play. It's a play command. I just forget what the object is on. And I want it in every star dot. What's going on here? Do I have anything? No. I'm hitting, clicking. Look at these file types. Oh, current document. That's why it's not available. Okay. Entire solution. That's what I was looking for. Star.ts. Find all. I'm loading up a sound effects here, but I think that may be a special class I created. Yeah, it's new audio. There it is right there. That's the command that we're looking for. Something like this. Okay?
Yep.
So I'm going to copy that.
And of course, we know this all works because, as indicated there, we've got it for little zaps on drones moving into walls, and of course for explosions, for meteors and stuff. So this is all stuff that we know works.
So I think this folder.assets, I think this code is actually going to be really like perfect. Well, maybe not perfect, but I think it's going to hit the file name. I think there's a shot at it. We cannot, let's do one more thing. Let's DTO let's send this out, to the console. Let's console log that. So we've got the folder assets, sound effects, the sound file name. And maybe add the word playing here. Like that. Okay, let's refresh. Click on console. I'm a very sophisticated robot. Yeah, sometimes what I do is I like look very quickly behind something to see if I see some evidence of Z buffering, just to see if I'm like in a in another in another world.
Are you in a simulation?
Okay, this is good. I got an uncaught in promise DOM exception. That means that I haven't clicked here yet. That's okay.
That's right. We've seen that before.
Yeah, let's try it again. Okay, now we've got assets, Dragon H, sound. Something feels wrong there. I've lost from sound. It's weird.
If the second line of that looks like it's been mangled, did it get placed in the spread twice?
Yeah, look at this. It goes sound, and then over here it's effects. Yeah, it looks like it's, or maybe the message. No, wait, hold on. I think I know what we're doing.
It's a wrap and then a location.
Yeah. Okay,
There we go.
Hold on.
Okay.
So now let's look at this. Game dev, assets, Dragon H, sound effects, blood squirting. It's not found, is what it says. Is it not found because it's put the %20s in there?
%20 is the encoding for a space, as far as I know.
Yeah, so that should be okay.
Should be okay. Is it actually in that location? Is there some subfolder we've forgotten?
Let's see. It is not in that location.
Okay. Good reasoning then.
It's in this
Forgive
location.
everybody.
So everything's the same. Asset
So
striking.
very
It's
close.
sound effects without a space. Really kind of interesting. Why was it working in the other one? Where did I grab that other one? Let's go look at this. Drone go boom. Oh, but that's in the drone game. That is in a folder called sound effects. So that's okay. Do you like my sound effect name there, Rory, by the way? Drone go boom.
Drone go boom.
All right, so we're going to come in here and make these two changes now. And try refresh. Click on console. Oh, it's so funny. I asked my wife to refill my water bottle, and after saying, "Are you effing kidding me?" she took my water bottle and left. It's like she left with my water bottle.
That's
50%
man. Implementation. She left with the bottle and has not come back.
I should thank her for it. All right, let's try this. Test sound effect. Uncut promise. This is better though. We don't have the second error. So I'm clicking here again. Click again. Nice.
Yes,
Did you hear that?
Yes, I
All
did.
Right. Folks over in
It's
the...
a very full-bodied sound, isn't it?
Isn't it nice?
There's a lot of satisfaction in that.
Yeah, we're going to combine that with this one right here, which is not working. The Mark Gush is not working. Why isn't that working? Why isn't Blood Gush working?
It might be because isn't it offset somewhere that you wouldn't be able to see it within the window?
Screen position is there. Should totally be able to see it. We should see it on the mainstream as well. Oh, it might be in here. I think I see what you're saying. Let's see what's going on. Oh, because we haven't refreshed the main view yet. There it is. So that's working. Okay, so that's...
So it was off to the right of where we were looking.
Yeah. So that's the blood effect right there. That we're going to do there. And then we're going to combine that with this sound, right? When somebody gets hit.
That's going to be nice.
And that's a hard hit. And then we have softer hits as well in there. So I've got some kind of cool stuff in this. Interesting. I just noticed Fireball is still cropped. We got to fix that. Okay. So, and there's somebody did test poof over there as well, right? We've got that. We've got the blue smoke as well. Boom. All of this fun stuff that we're soon going to be combining together. All right. So the sound effects is now working. I hit that like 3 times, I think. There's one. So I feel pretty good.
Yeah.
About that. Drone's not working, Rory.
Oh,
is that right?
apparently not. Apparently not, no. That's,
Why isn't the drone working? Why isn't the drone working? I don't get that at all.
Mr. Announcebot's good.
Let's see if I can... what do I want to do to Yeah,
That's working.
That's working. Well, Bennett says, ARM, it's test ARM. I am not running. That's not going to work at all. Because when I said to run, I'm not even running my remote detonator. So it's not even running. So none of that's going to work, unfortunately. I know. All the fun stuff I've protected and made safe. This is not running right now because it's not in my, if I go in and say set startup projects, which I cannot do apparently when I'm running.
You're running other things,
Yeah, but anyway, I was just going to show you there.
Oh, well, fair enough.
Test blood's not working either. All right, so let's figure out why the drone game's not working. So, by the way, this is actually what we saw earlier, it looked like. Oh, no, because we're in Mark here, which I think it has the overlay bot. It has... does it have the drone game?
It
does not.
Have just vanished. They were there.
The drone game is not on the this Mark page right here.
Oh, I see.
I'm pretty sure that's why. If I switch back over here, yeah, there's the drone game. I have to go through each one of the scenes, and there are like 100 scenes for Mr. AnnouncerBot, and make sure I add drone game back to each one of those scenes. I haven't done that.
Gotcha.
So we switch the view, we'll lose the coins. Okay. So does that now mean, so let's now wait with this loading. Let's see if now some of those other tests that we tried before, if they start to work again now. Because now I bet drone will work. Did we try?
Except the scroll bar's still not vanished.
Oh no, you tried. Yeah, and you tried drone before you tried Mark. So,
I did.
so yeah, maybe that's not going to work. We'll see. I'm waiting for the scroll bars to vanish on the stream. Whoops. Are they gone? That didn't work for me. Launch, does that work?
Things briefly vanished.
All right, let's debug this. I kind of want to figure out what's going on here. And so I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to shut everything down, start running again. So I've got a fresh version of everything. Stop debugging. And let's go kill every instance of Chrome so we can start it back up again. So the thing I was just going to show before is in my startup projects, I omitted the remote detonator. So that's not starting. I decided for safety reasons, I would put all the code that detonates things in a separate app that I would have to specifically start up to make it work. And so that's the case because I didn't want to have like a bunch, I just want to have redundant safety. And so I want to very intentionally be able to, and it looks like the drones are working now.
Drones are back. Yeah.
How did they get back? I didn't even restart anything yet. I just closed stuff down.
Something may be restarted in the sense that it was trying to load. And I certainly heard a pling suggesting it had finished loading.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, all right. So I shut everything down and now everything is working. So nothing is working and nothing is running and everything is working. Or probably not. I bet the mark commands aren't going to work because we don't have Mr. Announcer Bot. So, okay. So with that running, I want to go. Next step I want to do is I think I want to take a stab at this UI. Is what I think I want to do. Or at least let's talk about the UI. And, weigh, the decisions on this, what we want to do with this here.
Yeah. Well, don't you already have the time offset control with a kind of a click and drag left and right, which will then impact the value within it? So that right-hand set of UI. So there's still a certain, rather than having to delete the figures and type a new value in.
I see what you're saying.
You model it off the Adobe Premiere.
Yes, I did, but we never got those working. We ran into a couple problems, and I never got them to the point where I'm like, oh, these are awesome, and we never really figured out how to solve the problems. Is kind of where we got with that. I'll show you those, but I think you're suggesting use those with this because it's kind of the same as clicking and dragging.
Only because we had a very close to. So the advantage of the left over the right is that there's a very visual interaction. Rather than having to type everything and get this pixel perfect, what have you.
Mm-hmm.
But if we already have the right-hand side and it had the drag capability, then that's close.
Yeah.
It's easy to play with a mouse. But there's a nicer visual feedback to the left-hand side.
Yeah. And Rory Scott, look at this. But now Rory's on one side of the dash line and Will's on the other. They could work together as a team to get, actually, Roy, you could just fly underneath that thing.
I seem to remember there's still a bug. So if I go from one side of the portal, it won't emit. But if I come in from the other side, it would. I forget. Of course, I'm now trapped between two, and I'm going to... Oh, I need to get out of there.
Careful, go down. You want to go down. Oh, geez, you got one life left, buddy. Hello?
I think I may have gone down too far as well.
Yeah, down again.
Down again.
All right.
The slight delay on the stream here.
Yeah, it's a little tricky, but that's why you get 5 lives. Yeah, I want to do power-ups and things like that too, I suppose. Okay, so Roy, I think you're suggesting do something a little simpler in terms of these offsets. I think we can do that. Let's kind of play around since we've got some code here going here. Let's... Got a nice throw by Will. He almost was throwing it right back to himself. Look at that. Oh, here it comes. Oh, what a pass. That was pretty awesome. All right.
And now I'm going to die.
Don't get hit, Rory. Down.
He's just going to knock me into everything.
Down. There you go. You saved your life. All right. All right, so let's kind of work on that. I think basically what we need is an effect and a time offset is what we need is what we need to do. And so I think I kind of got to visualize this a little bit here. So let's kind of bring up some UI, and we'll take a look at what we already have, because I'm not entirely sure what I want to do. In fact, I'm almost thinking, Rory, that we're going to just spend some time thinking about this and designing without actually writing any code for a little bit. So let's bring up the.
So what's your
the effect
ideal?
builder.
What would you most like to use, I guess, is the answer.
Well, I kind of am thinking it's kind of a list control is
Okay.
what I think it is. And the list control has the ability to change your time offset. It's kind of a list like this is really what it is. It's a list of
Yeah.
these, and I can click and drag and put that thing anywhere, left or right, and that's the timing, and a big fat play button. The pieces that I add, I almost am anticipating that, like down here, there's a box where I can type in the name of what I want, the effect that I've built already. So, for example, fireball. Hold on, got white text here. So I've got like fireball 1. I'll type that in. In fact, ideally with autofill, right? So type in FI. And then it fills it out, right? And then I hit enter, and boom, it pops it right up here as one of these tracks, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm trying, so right here is the add button like this. Let's kind of make that look a little bit more like a button, I suppose. Right there, add, like that. And so I type in, FI, hit enter, and then it adds it to the list with a 0 offset, like that.
Yep.
And then I can then adjust its offset by ideally dragging, because that's the visual awesome, of the whole thing. Because then I could and then the other thing that would be really cool about this is if I'm adding a sound effect, is if it could go grab that sound effect and see how long it is. Or if I'm adding an animation, be able to figure out how many frames it is and get a sense of its length and duration, right?
Yeah.
We can't always do that. Oh, speaking of which, I also want for our for a particle system, let's just see if we can find the top of the particles here. Particle main. Is that right? No, it's higher. All right, let's look at, see if we can find particle. Particles main, it can't be it. That's not it. It's got to be up higher than this. Emitter shape, emitter options, that's the one I want. Let's change that to visible for a second so we can see that. One of the things I want to add here is a time limit for an emitter. So I can say this emitter goes for this many seconds and then stops. So I don't have that option in here either. But I kind of want to do that because I also already have a total, where is it?
So that's interesting.
Oh wait, I've got
if you've got an individual effect that potentially can, I mean, like any one of the particle effects, do you want to have because if you have like let's say there's a magic, I don't know, a cloud of smoke. Cloud of smoke's got a natural end to it. So no, particle thing like a mystical sort of sparkles going on as you drink a potion.
Yeah.
Do you want to have to create an effect and say this lasts 5 seconds? And then because you want it again, you want to make another one that lasts 6 seconds? Or do you create the effect once and then in the timeline say it lasts 6 seconds?
It's a really beautiful question. And I think that's definitely something to consider. That you can change that some effects can change their duration. This is right here. Stop after. Right now we can stop after a certain number of particles have shot out, but we don't have something to stop after a certain number of seconds have gone by, and that's kind of what I was anticipating would be useful. Okay, so let me just undo this. Get back to collapse there, and. I'm like, where was I here? It looks like I'm not. Let me just use Control plus the dash to move myself back to where I was. Dragon front game. Okay, we don't really need this anymore. Okay, yeah, so I guess I was just right here. So I think my ideal world is essentially a play button, a list box, a text box, and the add button. That's kind of where I think I am. And as I type in stuff here, ideally autofill, but we're gonna have to look into that. I'm not. I think I can make this easier if I use DevExpress controls, which I think DevExpress would love if I did. However, I'm not sure how that's all going to work with open source, so I need to kind of take a look at that.
Sure.
So let's do this. Let's kind of go in. Let's at
What
least
about
lay
if
this
it
out.
wasn't something to type into? Maybe it's an autocomplete drop-down list, and we have a list elsewhere that we could bind the items from. So you've got 3 items in your drop-down, which is Fireball 1, Fireball 2, Fireball 3, or I don't know, Spell 1.
Sure.
And because the natural effect then of typing is to pick the closest item.
Yeah. So let's work on that. We'll kind of start to build that in here. So I'm going to create this as a user control. I think I'm going to keep doing this. So we'll add a new item. Maybe you could just type directly into the list so you don't need the text box. Yeah, the answer is I kind of agree totally with that. What I want is when the list has focus, if I'm typing anything, the only place it makes sense is here. So I want this to just get focused and start typing these things in. I want to be able to see what I'm typing in, so I can see what the item is, so I can recognize it and then hit enter once I recognize it, right? Because part of what we're doing is we're going through all of those effects that we've built. And so we want to find those. And then I want to add that as a group. And then the play button is going to send it across. So when I hit play or whatever, test, it'll do that. I guess we also need a name for this effects group, I think. We either need, and this is where, like, to be honest, I haven't given this a lot of thought in terms of how to best do this. One way is to give this a name, and then elsewhere on my item editor, here, let's create a new slide right here. This is my item editor. We have the ability to hook up these effects. Let's go into my item builder over here, and you can take a look at kind of where I am and where we're converging to. Here's the item builder right here, and so the items have effects, and I have not added that yet here. But one of the things that we'll have to do for an item is we basically have the equip effects right here, and that's going to be some group. It's going to be that. This is what happens when it's equipped, and maybe we'll call this equipped effects, and then we have the unequipped effects, and we have the I think we have a discarded. I think a discarded effect, and we have a consumed effect. And these will either be the group name that we come up with for the group effect. The effect group name is what I should really call this. The effect group name. Or we're going to just put this whole UI, whatever that is, that whole UI is going to be here, for each one of these pieces on this page. So when we say the consumed effect, it's actually a group that we're sending out, is what it is.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I think what I should do, I guess my inspiration, and it's just occurring to me, I think I would need one more, which is a get effect. Is that right? Or get? It's when we first get it. So we've discarded.
Pick it up, so to speak?
Yeah,
or?
Pick it up effect. Pick it up effect, which is also cool. So if there was something dangerous and somebody said, hey, you just got this potion, we could do some sort of effect where it was like, ooh, like that. Some sort of effect would happen there. So
sort of the pulling the sword from the stone. Cha-ching!
Yeah, exactly. Something along those lines. So I'm just resetting here the overlays so that you can see the screen. So it'll either be, the UI will either allow you to select the group name that you put on another page where you've created these different list of effect groups, or you'll be able to just combine them right here. And I almost feel like combining them right here is the way to go, because it's like, I feel like, okay, we're adding yet another thing with another list of items. Like, really, isn't it enough to just have the basic components of the effects and then group them individually? Because however I group them here, would I need to reuse that? I don't know, maybe. Like for potion, yeah, it would make sense because I would have drink, 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 launch off the poof effect. Well, I definitely want to clone it. I would want the ability to copy this, clone it, and paste it somewhere else. So at the very least that. It's occurred to me that I think what I need to do is I need to first define the sense of an effect group and then be able to send that across. That's what I want to do first. Hugo says, good morning. Good morning, afternoon, fools. Folks.
Hello.
He says
Hugo.
folks is what he says. Wouldn't you want to show the effect name on the list and the bars as well? Yeah, I agree with that. The bars, that would be, the effect name would be on the bars. Oh, so I think what Will is getting at, actually, I'm liking this idea,
So
Will.
you got smoke 1, sound 2, and
Yeah,
animation 3, or whatever
exactly,
it is.
right, like that.
All
So,
the components of.
yeah, so these are the names of whatever the effects are absolutely going to be there, like sound.mp3, whatever that is, like that. These will all be in here. And so I think what Will is maybe thinking is, or I guess maybe what I'm thinking is, hey, we get rid of that, and we just, if you click down here, boom.
It just adds one in place, and now we're editing.
Yeah,
Okay,
and it's like unnamed or something like, or it won't be unnamed, but it'll be like not found or something like that. It'll be some sort of prompt to select effect, like that. Okay, and then that will, and if we type in something that doesn't exist, it won't. Will kind of be, there'll be nothing there. This I like a lot. Now I just have to click anywhere outside to get a new one. If I click on it, it's selected, and then I can support the delete key to delete it. That all feels good to me. So I'm going to think a little bit more about that. And I also really like the let's drag it, let's play, let's see where everything is lining up. I'm liking that a lot. And
you
then,
got a wheel mouse
yeah, I do.
as an option to maybe just fine tune the left to right movement as opposed to dragging maybe sometimes.
Yeah.
It depends though, because if you're in a list, that might actually turn into something that needs to be scrolled anyway. So you maybe don't have that available because of that.
Yeah. So this control actually strikes me as something really potentially very cool to make, in terms of, we're talking about its brand new UI. We're talking about using good design techniques. So we're going to minimize, our goals are to minimize thought and motion. So to minimize thought, instead of having you calculate, that this is, 400 milliseconds or whatever, we're going to show you the bar and a timeline. The other thing that's cool is going out and figuring out how long a particular file is super interesting. I wonder if we can do that, find code to do that, right? Going out to find out, to calculate how long an effect is as well, right? Because we don't have a frame rate. We just have a bunch of PNG files out there, right?
That's right.
But we should be able to calculate a lot of that so we can see the average size of things, which means if I want to, and also things like snap to, right? So if I'm dragging over to the right, I would want to implement snap to, right? It's almost crazy to put this much work into something that's only going to have one user and not going to bring any revenue back whatsoever of any kind, right? However,
But at the other sense of things, it's very cool.
it's a great training kind of thing to work on. So,
Yeah.
so I'm going to think about that, building it this way. I'm honestly torn between doing it the fastest, crudest way, and making this a lesson and creating something really beautiful. Hugo says, I can see a lot of benefit to a timeline control like that. Okay. So thanks for that support, Hugo. I think you're pushing me in this direction. I'm definitely thinking about it, considering it. So for now, though, what I want to do, I want to end the show with writing some code. I want to send two things over at once. I want to send a group control over. And so what I want to do is I want to get over into our TypeScript file over here. And the way I remember going in is through, I think it's Dragon Game, but I'm going to go in through, I think I'm going to find it faster if I come in here through this, trigger effect, and Dragon Front Game. And there's my trigger sound effect. What I want to do is I want to say, let's check this. I think I want to do this. If, wait, hold on. Trigger effect takes the whole string in? It does.
Looks like, yeah.
Yeah, it does, and it parses it here. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to say, I want to create a
Well, the
new
interesting thing
function.
here is that you've got a DTO which is an any, and there's no specification except by your expectation as to exactly what that shape is.
Don't worry, I got this. I got this, Rory. I'm sorry, go
Okay.
ahead. What do you know? Finish what do you want to say? Trigger.
Well, I'm just curious. At the moment, we're sending over a single effect, and obviously now you're thinking about sending over a group which then contains multiple effects, not to mention the offsets and various things like that. So the question is, do you want it to be capable of supporting both, or are you going to send everything as a group so that even a single item has a group wrapped around it?
Yeah. So the answer is I got this. And here's what this is what it's going to look like this. And so we're going to say we're going to come in here, we're going to say trigger single effect DTO like that is what we're going to do. This dot that. Okay? It's been so long since I've done TypeScript, it seems. Okay, so trigger single effect is going to do this like that. But now what I want to do is I want to do this. I want to go into effect kind, and I want to say add a new thing called group effect. Group effect. Like that. Make that equal to 3. Okay? So there's my group effect that I've done. See what I'm doing here? And then I want to come over.
Just a comma out of that enumeration.
Did I mess something up over there?
Just a comma for the last remaining item that was there before we added our own. No, in the definition, there we go.
That's what was missing. Thanks. Okay, so there's my effect kind. By the way, there's going to be another effect kind out here as well. That's going to be probably in D&D Core. Nope, I don't see it there. Let's see if CodeRushed can help us find it. I think CodeRushed has got a language limit here that I discovered. No, I'm wrong about that. Okay, effect kind is here. We want to add the same thing right here as well. That's equal to 3.
Yes.
So we're just keeping those two pieces in sync. Okay. And back to trigger effect. So trigger effect is in here, single effect. Now what I want to do is I want to say if DTO effect kind is equal to effect kind group effect, like that, then now I want to find the individual pieces out of that. And so now my question is, well, we're going to have to do something along those lines right here, where we're going to have to. I think the code is going to be. Effect count like that. And then we're going to go DTO dot effect of I. I'm guessing. And then we're going to come down here and say else that, like that. And maybe to make this simpler, we're going to put begin end blocks there and do this as well. I see the chat room moving in my peripheral vision. What do we got
we
here?
have suggestions of recursion, so the fact that is a group could contain a group, maybe. Which is an interesting idea.
I'm going to say no to that. I'm not. I want to also add that I'm a huge fan of doing exactly what you're talking about, groups and groups and groups. But based on what I know about the data, that's not going to happen. We're just going to have a group of effects, I think. Well, at least right now. And also, it's easy enough to switch over to recursion if we want to make that change later. And I think it's also useful to show that transition and making that code change. So I'm not gonna do that now. But in general, I think that suggestion applies to 90% of the time. It's a yes 90% of the time that suggestion is made. I find that treating the group as well as the children essentially identically simplifies code like crazy. So, but for now, because I feel like it's highly likely we're only going to ever have one parent on this, that we're good with this code for now. So we're going to call trigger single effect for all of those individual ones. That means we need to stream something up that's got effect count in it, and that's got an array of elements in it
So
called
is that
effects.
not going to be dto.effect.length? Because the array itself will imply the length or the number of items.
I'm not sure about that. We can try it. But I'm not sure because I think I'm not sure what class is going to be serialized and deserialized. But I was thinking, well, if I specify that like this, let's start with this, and then we'll go to simplify if the world is just awesome and taking care of us in all ways. So that's this side. On the other side, we need to come over to probably in our effect builder, go to the code there, and
I guess we need to sort of send a test fake group of some kind.
Yeah.
Because we haven't got a group builder yet, so...
I think you're right. And I think that I think you're right. We need to do that. I think I'm going to add a new test button to it is what I think I'm going to add. We're going to add a test group button to this. Let's see here. Find test. No, test isn't in there. I thought test is on. Oh, test is on the other page that this is referenced in. Let's go look at that. That is up here, I believe, in main window. And on the effects page, it's that button that I've added right there. I feel like I'm trying to click it. Oh, it's in effects list. Okay. So let's go back over to the UI. Editable list box, list effects. What did I call it? I thought it was effects list. Did I throw it here? I threw it there. There's the button. Okay, it took a while, but I found it.
There we go.
All right, so we're going to say test effect. Let's shrink this down a bit. Okay, let's create a second one of these. And test group effect is what we're going to call this right here.
I love what's going on with the overlay at the moment. Hugo's come in with a drone. He's decided to start collecting coins. This is obviously fun to do. And Will has spotted the fact that he's been getting coins and has sent a meteor to knock him out. To lose control. And have to start again.
That's awesome. I totally want to, that's funny. I love it. And I totally want to have player versus player. There's like so many things I want to do. And I'm like, I'm like a little bit, all right, so there's our test group button right there. I don't think I want to margin that big here around these guys. I think I want to make this one that, no margin here maybe. Let's see what we do there. That's a little bit, actually let's make one on the bottom only. So 0, 0, 0, 20, like that. Okay, so there's our test group. And then let's give that a new event handler. Let's drill into that. And so now what I want to do is I want to say an effect. Let's see, when we do the test button, what's happening there? Here. Okay, so that's what it looks like from when we do the test. Now we're going to do, so effect builder, get effect. What I want to do here is I want to create a new group that is going to descend from effect. So when we come in here, we'll create a new descendant of effect called effect group. It'll do that. We don't need these two pieces. And I think we just need that. There's our group. We need in here to have, yeah, we need to have those properties we're looking for in over here. So effects count, we need a property. Yep. And so we're going to have, I think I can make it a public read-only property, and I think it's going to serialize is what I think. So let's do that. So we're going to make a read-only property of type integer. And I want it calculated, so it's going to look like this, and we're going to call it effects count. And then we're going to return back whatever our count is in our list of effects. So then we're going to create something here, like a new list of those effects. Call it children, I think. Something like that. No, I'm not calling it children. I've actually got the name specified right here. I'm calling it effects. Like that. And I'm just going to make that, I'm going to make that public like that. I'm just going to flat out do that. And then effects count is going to come back with effects.length is what it's going to come back with. So return effects.length or count, something like that. It's count. Switching between languages makes these unclear.
Oh, it's fun, isn't it?
Yeah, okay. So there's my effects group. And in my effect group, I can specify that my effect kind is equal to effect kind.group effect as well, which is something that I want to do.
This is good, yeah.
Okay, there's my effect group. Let's hit the CodeRushed key, move type to file, bring that out to its own file over there. Thank you for that. And then let's jump back to where we were. Now we want to say, we want to create an effect group like that. New group, or just call it, yeah, give it that name right there. Effect group is equal to new effect group, like that. And then I want to say, I hate doing that. People are having fun with the stuff we've already got. Effects.add. I really hate doing this. Let's just do this. Effect group.add. And then we're going to come in and say effect builder.getEffect, like that. And then we need to get another effect and add it to it as well. So we need to get a second effect here. Declare method, pop it in there, and then we're going to say effects dot add effect. That. Okay, that feels pretty good to me.
Works, yeah.
And then I want to,
as you say, we need a second effect of some description. Is there any effect we can make for the purposes of this that will just not need very much in the way of specification?
Yeah, sound effect is pretty short, but I'm actually wanting to grab something from the list is what I want to grab. That's kind of what I really want to do. Selection to change load, effect builder load from item. So the effect builder right now has this method called getEffect. Okay, I hate doing this, but it's like it is a way to cheat, where I could say get an entry, grab an item from the list box, right?
Yep.
Call load from on that item in the effect builder, or create a second instance of the effect builder. That would probably be better, because I'm basically just trying to get access to this code right here. But this code right here is driven by the actual controls right here.
Sure.
Because we wrote this before we were doing our view models, and so we are. It's a little messy. We've got this, these pieces kind of messed up together here. So I think that the solution to that mess is to add a little bit more mess to it. Which I'm sure a lot of people will be like, "What? No!" But I'm gonna try that and see, is that gonna work? Can I do this? This is what I'm playing with, this idea. New effect builder. Can I do this like this? And then we're gonna call this secondary effect builder. We'll find out if we can do it. So like that, and then we're gonna say. Secondary effect builder dot load from. Is it load from item? Yeah, that's what it is. And then we want to get the one of the items inside of that. And so we're going to say load from item, and then we're going to say we got to find an editable lists box out there. Hold on. Does sex positive agree with clean up mess with more mess logic? Clean up explosions with more explosions? Asks Will Bennett.
It's an interesting question.
No. And my water is gone. It's absolutely gone. I just want to say, I feel like she's like sending a message.
This
All
is
right.
a subtle message.
Yeah, subtle message. So editable list box, let's see. This is in the effectslist.xaml, which means we probably got a named editable list box out there. There it is right there. So I'm going to just try this. Look, it's a test, kids. Don't be too mad at me. Okay?
Oh, absolutely. This is entirely valid. All we're really looking for is a quick way to get 2 effects into a group and send the group over the wire.
What is the, why I'm trying to figure out why I can't get access to the items in this thing. I've got an item source. Am I setting the item source? I don't know if I am or not. Maybe I am. Let's see what's happening here. No, I am not. This is an edible list box, so I don't know if I am.
Data file name alleffects.json.
Yeah. This is a control I created, which was kind of cool. It loads and saves out to here. It does create its own item. Let's go jump into the declaration of this, see if I can actually get to it. Right there. And it's a user control. Okay, that's why we don't have the items property on the list box exposed. So there's my selected item. Where am I messing with that and changing it? Yeah, so I've got some pretty fun, cool code here, like my duplicate code. So we'll go in, it deserializes the object and then, or it serializes it, then deserializes it to create the copy of it. It's got to be an iList entry is what's going to be contained inside of that. So I wonder if I can do anything with item source. Let's see if I can do that. Is there anything, what is that? Okay, so it looks like that's an enumerable. Yeah, it's an enumerable. And I forget how to move through. I've got to, if I want to move through it or not. What if I do, is there an easier, faster way to get me access to the individual items inside of here? Oh, nice. Teaching him how to toss. Good job, Roy. You're like a, okay.
There's no end to that sentence.
There's no end to that sentence. You're right. No, I'm like thinking, okay, get back into this right here. I've got an item source, and it's enumerable. I need to get let's just see the first item right there is what I want to do. Or do we go back with your idea? Let's go with your idea, Rory, instead. I think it's getting messy enough. It's getting messy enough. I'm going to just create a second effect all on its own. So I'm going to say new sound effect. Is that what I'm calling it? Sound effect.
Yep.
Taking the sound file name, and we're gonna do that. The sound effect is let's get its name. It's this one. All right. So we'll do that. Pass in that, and then we're gonna pass that into add. And I think that's just the fastest, quickest way to do that, Rory. And I apologize for not listening to you at the beginning.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Nothing wrong with a little ambition.
I think it's because I'm a little thirsty. I don't know why I'm thirsty.
Strange that.
That's weird, isn't it? I'm reaching over for my my snack supply over here. It's come to that, Rory. Here we go.
Because snacks have always been known to help with thirst.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're right. Dang it. No, really. I shouldn't have eaten that dry peanut butter powder. All right. We are starting up. Pieces are loading. So jump over here to effects. Let's come over here to the dragon front overlay is what we've called that.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, the regular overlay is reloading as well.
Yep.
And I want to see and hear. I want to hear that sound effect. Look at this. I didn't save the last sound effect either. Did I shut it down? Yeah, it may have happened. I may not have done a close here. If okay. Interesting. I might have a persistence problem. All right, so let's do a test effect. There you can see the effect right there. Let's try it. Mark Gush, test effect. There it is. Now let's try the test group. Oh, nice.
Look at that success.
Wow.
You gotta love that.
Here's where I want the offsetting to work, though. I want here. I want there to be a an offset. I think it just happened on the stream as well. I saw it in front of me. Check it out. Hold on a second. Let me come over here and hit test group. Yeah, it's happening on the stream as well. All right. So group effects work. We just need a way to actually group these pieces together. It's kind of almost anticlimactic since it just worked without there being any bugs. A little disappointing. I'm a little disappointed in, I was hoping for there to be a little more here. But I think that's it. So I don't know. What do you think, Rory? What are your thoughts?
I'm pretty happy with that. I know you say you're disappointed, no bugs, but the fact that we've tested multiple singular effects, they all work. We've tested a couple of effects together, that clearly works. So now you can concentrate purely on the mechanic of how do we select several effects and then offset their times within the group. So the group can have this extra metadata. So it's probably not going to be a list of effects so much as a list of effects and combinations of their independent delays.
Yeah. And I think that I'm going to give this some thought, and I think this idea of creating this kind of a timeline-based control is a good idea. We should put it in. We'll put it in its own separate project. So if somebody wanted to use it, they could just grab that project, and that's all they would need. And we'll just work on that and build that and see how that works. We'll kind of create a timeline. I think that'll be one of our next projects that we do as we go forward. But so far so good. I think the next thing I want to do in terms of the code, we don't have the UI for it yet, but for the code is I want to be able to specify offsets and trigger them at the right time, right? So for example, we might have a sword swooshing sound, whoosh, whoosh. And then that right just before hit, like that, right? And so, which is also cool because it gives the players a chance to react if they hear the sound coming in, right? They could time that like that, and I think it's a pretty cool effect, right?
It is.
Right? It's essentially live CG effects, which now that I think about it, also never done before. We're doing like a number of kind of innovative things on this show.
So many firsts.
Well, two firsts. So many is two. All right.
Well, so many starts with two, or starts with one.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what time it is? Dance battle!
No, it's not time for the dance battle. We're saving that for show 100. It's far off in the distance where that's never hitting.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, it's time for a...
CodeRushed giveaway!
That's right, because every episode we give away a copy of...
CodeRushed!
Because...
CodeRushed!
Helps you write code faster, because the product is called...
CodeRushed!
All right, so with all of that, today's winner is... Watch for it, dropping up from up above over here.
Burnsy85.
Burnsy85. It's called CodeRushed. That's what it's called, ask Hugo. All right. So the marketing people are totally happy or maybe really angry with me right now at this point because of how I just beat that into the ground.
Definitely somewhere between those 2 points.
Yeah. So I'm going to give this some thought and we'll think about it. Oh, Jesus, look at that. Will just did that. Nice. We'll give this some thought and we will, and I think I'm going to come at next week. My goal is on Tuesday of next week to have a strong direction in terms of what I want to do and where I want to go. Because I think that actually makes for a better show than when I start saying, I'm not sure what I'm going to do so much. But I think today wasn't bad, right? We made a couple strides forward. We've got sound effects coming together. We created groups. We showed how to create classes on both sides of a signal-R conversation between TypeScript and C#, and they're talking to each other. So, nobody got killed in today's show.
We
right?
took steps forward, and we didn't destroy the universe.
We did not destroy the universe, even though it looks like people are getting close to getting killed. Just like, oh man, I need more. I need a variety of these blood effects. I want them like.
Forgot something.
Can't end without setting off some flash paper. Can I do that? I think I almost
Last
can.
second challenge.
I think I almost can, but I'm like, hold on a second. All right, fine. If you really want me to do that. Whoops. Hold on. All right. We're going to do this because Will asked for it.
In fairness, it's Will's fault. This wasn't our idea at all.
Yeah, but we're doing it because
Bill Bennett rocks.
and he's an awesome contributor to the show, just like Hugo is. All right, so let's do that. I spilled some screwdrivers here. I just need to pick those up. All right, fine. We're gonna. You want us to blow up some flash paper? We're gonna blow up some flash paper. I need to. I unplugged for safety reasons. I unplugged from my power supply. And the other downside is that I don't have my water bottle here anymore, so I can't put it right up to the camera. But let's go ahead and we'll kind of get this over. We'll do this over here. So there's the flash pot piece right down there. Now I'm going to take my the two wired pieces. I'm going to bring them over to my power supply, which is also off for safety reasons. See how crazy I am with this safety, right?
The health and safety is clearly fully implemented. That nothing could possibly go wrong with so much safety around.
I like it how you add health to that as well. I'm like, I'll take that. That's awesome. All right, so here we go. I'm now hooking up.
We're keeping your health safe.
Yeah, so I'm clipping up the power supply to the pieces here. All right, that feels pretty good. We are not running our detonator, remote detonator. So we're going to have to. Can we start this up? Yeah.
Hugo says he's not seen this before. He hasn't been with us for a little while. Well, Hugo, if you do need to catch up, yesterday's show is pretty much where it was at, but this will give you a little insight into what that was like.
Slightly bad news. I'll be right back because I've also taken the flash paper off the desk, and I will be right back, Rory. So launch
Fair
some
enough.
drones if you want to.
Launch some drones.
I'll be
That's
right
a good excuse there, right there. Yeah, yesterday's episode was particularly interesting as we configured several explosions on screen, and some of which were less on purpose than perhaps we might otherwise have liked. And a discussion of exactly how allowed these explosions are to be. But there you go. Do I have a drone? I do not have a drone. That did not work. Nobody's got drones. We may have turned the drones off. I'm sorry about that. However, shortly to follow, Splosions, which is sort of drone-like. Invisidrone. Yes, you go. Okay, I'm going to the left. You throw me the Invisimeteor. I'll be good, right?
Okay,
All right, Mike is
Rory.
back. We have flash paper in hand.
I'm coming back, and
You back?
yeah. By the way, I can hear you
Woo.
talking the whole time. I'm thinking how hard that must be to talk without any control or with little control over what's out there. What's
Well,
on screen.
Some would argue that that's how my brain deals with my mouth, and vice versa. Normally, it's.
Okay, so here we go. We're gonna throw this over.
It's a good point, actually, Mark. Your audio is significantly worse than it was.
Yeah. Sorry. Because guess what I forgot to do? Bring in the microphone up. I bet it's
Hey.
significantly better
That's
now than
getting
what
a
it
lot
was.
better, yeah.
Okay, thanks for the reminder on that. Okay, so I think we need to. The relay is not found. Is that really what the error we got? Device not found exception.
Not plugged in.
Well, It looks like it's plugged in. Let me just unplug it. It totally looks like it's plugged in right here. I've got like a light there. Let me unplug it and plug it back in. Oh God, that drives me nuts. That initialization feature. Yeah, the initialization feature where every single relay is clicked on and clicked off. I'm like, no, don't do that. All right, so let's do this.
I'll test this thing by firing all the rockets.
Yeah, exactly. When we get the glow plugs, it's going to be slightly dangerous, right? You can't like unplug and replug this thing in. If the glow plugs actually go off very quickly. Although I feel like those will still be 200 milliseconds plus, something like that.
You get the wrong kind of power fluctuation whilst you're on camera, everything goes off.
Yeah. That's everything you just said is absolutely true. Just explosives going shooting everywhere. Boom, boom, boom. This is, by the way, was also a point that oh God, I'm totally blanking out on the name now. One of that was raised on Twitter by one of the guys who follows me, and I'm totally blanking out on his name. But I brought it up on one of the shows earlier. Remember when we were talking about? He wanted me to use solid state transistors instead of relays to set the stuff off. He was talking about his friend who launched a 5-minute show off instantly because he was using relays, and the power fluctuations just caused everything to just
I did hear of a fireworks show that was supposed to last something like 20 minutes, and they let everything off in like the first 3 seconds.
Yeah.
It was quite bright in the sky for those 3 seconds.
Yeah, I bet it was.
But,
all right, so now we're going to go in multiple startup projects. So let's go do this. So I'm up for, in fact, we'll do this maybe twice or something like that. So let's go into startup projects, and let me switch back over into like this view here for now. And we'll start up the remote detonator as well. Start it. Okay. Hit run. And let's load up the flash paper.
Apparently I was not the only one to see the fireworks issue.
The cool thing about the relays, though, is that click is loud. And my body, the click sounds a lot like an electrical shock as well. And my body is naturally trained to jump when it hears that click.
And as we know, you've now got a 7-second delay currently to make sure you get out of there.
I know.
Run!
I know. So, all right. So here we go. We've got the view over there on the power supplies. Everything turned up. Everything is turned up all the way.
Welcome, World Wake. You are just in time to catch our remotely detonated explosions.
Yeah. So there's the view of the flash paper. Now to blow it up, I've got to arm it first is what I got to do. So let's also bring up, we did this the other day, but let's bring up our remote detonator app. You're going to see it right over here over my left shoulder. There you can see it's found the relays that are out there. We're still loading the overlays. You can see that by the scroll bars around here. There we go. They've just they've just finished loading. So now I'm going to send in the test arm command, and you should see to my left the word armed show up. There we go. Nice. We're armed and ready to go. Now we can do like a test det 1 command, and now the trick is you got to get the ball to hit right down in here. In fact, what I think I'm going to do for a second here, that didn't count. That's not real. Is hold on a second. I want to go get to.
Better get a meteor. I'm off. I'm running.
I want to get me. I'm going to put me right underneath there. So here we go. So you've got essentially, if you hit me, you're going to see.
Okay.
You're going to see.
Challenge.
You're going to see this flash paper that's right above my head there, right near the relays, light up is what we're expecting to see there. So that's kind of what's
going to guess. That was not me. That
Now,
wouldn't be me.
if you catch that, you can throw it. You throw it using the T command and then your X and Y velocities.
Right.
And so you need to. It's tricky in this
Try that.
particular game, right?
That wasn't what I thought. Oh, right. I typed it wrong.
So you want to, yeah. So T7 comma 0. You want me to switch to
More
the easier game?
velocity.
You want to?
Well, I'm gonna go that way. And oh, this could be bad. Ouch.
Oh, it looks good. Oh, it was white though. It didn't quite hit close enough.
Now I can't stay still long enough to get a sensible set of coordinates together. Let's go something like that.
Oh, that looks not quite strong enough, Roy. I'm confused, but it looks like people are having fun, so I'm having fun too. So World Wake, you can create your own drone by typing in the drone command. Just a bang, and then the word drone. So exclamation mark and then the word drone. Then you can fly. Whoa, what's happened to Will Bennett? What's happening? He's like what is going on?
Wow, he's engaging warp drive.
What is going on there? All right, I'm going to switch over to 0. And Will Bennett that is crazy what's happening with Will Bennett.
I'm getting out of there. Oh, so several are just
Whoa!
landing on you now.
Nobody told me. I didn't have any warning. That just went off. Whoa. All right, are we good? Hold on. Let me disarm a second here. Test, disarm. Somebody else it just went on again. So test, disarm. We're disarmed. Good. Okay. Yeah, you can smell it. You can smell the smoke in here. You can smell it a little bit. All right, here we go. Yep, that's cool. I'm so nervous right now, by the way, even though I did test disarm. I'm like, and I see that it's disarmed. I'm like, don't make those sounds, guys, while I'm doing this too. I'm like, really? Is this like, okay, there we go. One more. Let's do the arming on this again. Test arm. And there it's armed. Whoa, look at that explosion. Whoa. What is happening with Will Bennett? How is he getting so many of these drones out here? And what happened to our coins and everything else? That's the dot.
He's overloaded that. We have so many instances of Will. He's come to take over the world with his clones.
Hold on. I'm going to do a dock.
Drone clones.
I'm going to do a dock on here and see what happens. I think I just destroyed all of Will right there. Now let's come in here and let's do test det. You want to go back to det 1?
Sure.
All right. And then let's see if you guys can get this one. So we're armed. Yeah, Will Bennett. What's going on? He's just typing in drone 1. There's a problem with that where it is launching multiple drones and copies of Will. I wonder what happens if I do that. Am I going to see the same thing, drone 1, coming out of there? It looks like we've got a bug in our warp gate, is what it looks like. I think there's now a bunch. Oh, no. It's only Will Bennett? I can't quite tell.
There's 2 of you.
Oh, no, wait. There are 2 of me.
I'm not entirely sure where I am. Am I hiding behind Will?
I see you in the upper right, above, right where.
Oh, there I am. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's Will as well. That's crazy. We got to figure
Many
that
Will.
bug out. What's interesting is we've got like, you're starting to see, by the way, you're starting to see the speed of the system.
Things are getting a little slow.
Here comes the dock. Oop, we got a hit. That was crazy. That sound was so loud. All right. And that's it, kids. We'll see you
That's it.
on
All
Tuesday.
the fireworks. All the...